What's up guys, it's TyranitarTube, and today we're going to be looking at past and future form concepts for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There's a couple concepts going around right now, but one in particular is something along the lines of time-warped Pokemon that people are talking about. In the midst of whatever regional fakes are, and whatever the gimmick of this game is, there's this time-warped Pokemon thing. And this is when it gets crazy. Apparently Kakaman showed this Among Us creature and Jigglypuff-like creature and said he was playing Pokemon Scarlet, and he described them as ancient forms. And when asked if there are future forms in the game, he said he couldn't confirm. So this got people to speculate that there might be real version exclusives in Scarlet and Violet, with ancient forms in Scarlet and time-warped future forms in Violet that he just hasn't seen since he's not playing Violet. The whole RF and time-warped Mon thing is confusing. We don't know if the two concepts overlap, but there just seems to be something in this game time-warp related. And so we're gonna look at some concepts for time-warped Pokemon in this video. And again, I'll make a video on the plethora of new concepts in this game. Are fakes, time-warped Mons, gimmick forms, and apparently regional forms still. I'll figure out a way to make it all understandable. Don't worry about it for now. In this video, let's look at some more time-warped Mon concepts. I want to start off with a really cool one. Here is a Proto banette. So the idea would be this is banette in the past. The thing with ghost types, Pokemon hasn't officially explained what ghost types are, why they exist, but for some reason they're treated as a typing just like the rest of them. And Pokemon doesn't seem to tell us why there are Dusknoirs roaming around and Hisui and Zorix roaming around, except they kinda did. In Hisui, Zorix Pokedex entry literally shows that it's a dead version of the Univan Zorix, which gives an understanding to ghost types in the Pokemon world. Hopefully Game Freak keeps that logic. The logic being that ghost types are the dead forms of Pokemon. So the Ghastly line would be the outcome of all the Ghastlies in the world dying, and this is their ghost form. It's kind of odd in some cases where like Dartrix evolves into a ghost type. Did it die? There's obviously two takes. Ghost type could either mean you're harnessing some kind of hex maniac power. Maybe that's how Decidueye is a ghost type, or it just means you're dead. And so that would be the concept here. This is Banette before they all died. They used to be all these cute normal types. Let's look at Banette's entry. Yeah, the logic would just be that the old Banettes are now extinct, but somehow due to them traveling from the past, they exist in the Spain region. Banette generates energy for laying strong curses by sticking pins into its own body. This Pokemon was originally a pitiful plush doll that was thrown away. So did Banette possess a plush doll and curse people the same way the doll was abandoned? Or was Banette an alive plush doll? I think it makes more sense they possessed it. A doll that became a Pokemon over its grudge from being junked. It seeks the child that disowned it. What the hell? No, it did not get possessed. It's like the doll came to life when it was abandoned. Yo, you can't tell this in a kid's game. This is not the Toy Story we wanted. Let's backtrack to Shupik's entry. This is the pre-evolution of Banette. It loves to feed on feelings like envy and malice. Its upright horn catches the emotions of people. How do you catch the emotions of people? So it was an abandoned Pokemon that just wants to spread evil. And then when it evolves, it kind of gets its priorities straight and wants to hunt specifically the child that disowned it. So Shupik just has this Casper look. There's something under there, surely. Oh, I just realized Banette probably is what's under Shupik. Even has a little spike at the top. You see, this artwork here is of Banette, right? I think there's a different approach we should take. Instead of Banette having a former form where it was alive and it was a normal type, it should be just Shupik. So Shupik is a normal type and it looks like a doll, let's just say. And it should evolve into something else that's not called Banette. Banette should be like the evil, dead evolution when Shupik has all this hatred. You could even take it a step forward and have a pre-evolution to Shupik that causes the split evolution. And maybe the pre-evolution is this useless doll Pokemon, like a Magikarp. We've stayed on this too long. See, here's another cool one. Proto Gligar. See, at first you're like, bro, I don't care. But check out the context. It is a common ancestor of both Gligar and Scorpy lines. This would be a sick direction for Pokemon to take. You know, people make those Pokemon trees where they try to morph Pokemon sprites slowly together to show common ancestors. Every creature in the world is related. At some point, Gligar's a scorpion, Scorpy's a scorpion. Logically, they were the same Pokemon at some point. So if Game Freak started doing this stuff, not for many Pokemon, just one in a generation, just as a little tidbit to show two Pokemon you didn't expect to be connected are, it'd be really cool. You could have a proto, it wouldn't be called Gligar. It would be like a pre-evolution to both Gligar and Scorpy, and it would have its own evolution line. It wouldn't evolve into Gligar or Scorpy, but you would know from the lore that it's the ancestor to what would eventually evolve into two different species. See what you can do with past and ancient forms, alive ghosts, ancestors? Man, I really want it to happen. Okay, here's one by Elastiva. Proto Pikachu into Proto Raichu. So this one is a Gorochu homage. In 2019, when Red and Green's beta sprites were leaked, including stuff that was scrapped from the final release of the game, Pikachu had an evolution after Raichu, where its mouth was just gonna be giant. This is the back sprite for what Gorochu looked like. It's the only image we have of it, and here's a popular interpretation of it by Foxeve. But pretty much that's what this is a homage to. So there'd be an ancient Pikachu. You obviously can't give Raichu an evolution. There've never been 4 Pokemon in a line, but what you can do is make Proto Pikachu and then make what used to be Gorochu Proto Raichu. Here's kind of a hilarious one. The timburr line in Proto form. I haven't shown you any future forms yet. So this one is actually kind of cool. It has caveman, timburr. Did caveman do this? He's building something? Bro, this is terrifying. You look like a human. Yeah, look, you're a friend of Professor Sada. It shows them as rock fighting types, which makes sense for the first 2 evolutions. They're like humans getting stone tools to do their things, hence the rock type. But what I like about this is that it shows that the conkeldurrs of now are totally different because of humans and the stuff they've made. They're carrying around cinder blocks. It almost seems obvious that they must have looked a different way in the past. Let's actually look at Timburr's entry and see if it explains where they came from. These Pokemon appear at building sites and help out with construction. They always carry square legs. Bro, where'd y'all come from? Goodness, were these Pokemon that actually chilled with humans? Bro, these are Neanderthals. These are humans. We've mistaken them. We've put them in a Pokeball, but this is a human right here. Wait, it is thought that Conkeldurr taught humans how to make concrete more than 2... Hey, Nasaka, they're not the humans. We're the Conkeldurrs. Here's a really cool proto form. I feel like you'll hate it at first, and then you'll love it. Here is Proto Magnemite, Proto Magneton, and Proto Magnezone. No, he's called Magnetitan. I mean, you could tell the idea here. It's almost like this is really what magnetites and all looked like. Just in modern day, they turned into this magnet thing. But in the past, this is the weird rock-like thing Magnemites used to be. And it could still work. Their name is Magnemite. It could just have to do with electromagnet. Okay, let's see. Where did Magnemite come from? Wow, no games explain where Magnemite came from. The art style is different on this one, but it's a proto rhyhorn. I mean, obviously it's like rhyhorns used to be this little dinosaur creature, but you gotta find the line. Okay, let's show you a Neo one. This one's Neo Aegislash. There's not much to go on here. He's just no longer steel type. He's futuristic and zaps everyone. It's like a common direction people go with when making future forms. It's just like electric or steel. One cool one we saw in the past was an electric chandelier, which actually works really well. But I think the coolest ideas is if you can mess with their lore and think of a future form for them. It looks sick though. Like for example, here is a Neo Morlaw. He's got a light bulb. Electric fairy, that's a pretty sick typing. Morlaw, where did you pick that up from? Put it back. But here's a sick one. It might be controversial, but here's Proto Magikarp, a dragon water type. Oh, this is crazy. Magikarp, wait, it's called Magikarp. Did you mean that? Well, anyhow, Magikarp is obviously the classic tale of the carp. All the carps in the world suck, but one determined carp climbs up the waterfall, and breaking its potential, it is rewarded by becoming this glorious dragon. It flies and it terrorizes everyone. This would add a different kind of backstory to Magikarp. Maybe they were an impressive species back then, and now all the carps suck. They're all water types and orange, but they could still realize that ancient potential. Let's look at Magikarp's entry. Yeah, you have to agree with me. The ancient forms are so much more fun than the future forms. Wait. Whoa. Look at its entry from red and blue. In the distant past, it was somewhat stronger than the horribly weak descendants that exist today. It's not controversial at all. This entry is from Red and Blue, 1996. From the start, Game Freak's idea of Magikarp is that they don't remember the strength they once had. It's that one-off Magikarp that can realize the potential. Yo, so this form exists. A race of super Magikarps that turn into full-on dragon Gyarados. I can't believe Game Freak wrote that. It's hilarious. They only came up with regional variants as of Sun and Moon, but it's like there are always remnants of it. For all you know, these ancient magikarps wouldn't even evolve into Gyarados. Because even the classic carp tail, you could just focus that to the modern magikarp. You could take a different approach with the ancient magikarp. It don't gotta evolve into the Chinese dragon-like thing. Here is Proto tentacruel. This one's obviously cool because it's the kraken. It's a water dark type. What I've always wanted from tentacruel is for it to have another evolution. This was kind of the story that happened in Insurgents. One of the characters tell you that deep in like the lowest parts of the ocean, that there are giant tentacruel evolutions, but no one has ever seen them. And since those days in Pokemon Insurgents, they've introduced regional variants and in Galar regional evolutions. So they can make it happen. They can make an ancient tentacruel and then evolve that into the actual kraken. Anyhow, obviously the Pokemon I really want having a future form or an RF form is Tyranitar. Not only because I want it, but because this is Godzilla. Japan is all over the Godzilla stuff, the Mecha Godzilla. It's literally ready for them. Now, I don't know if I want Tyranitar as a steel type, because I mean, we're so used to the idea of like some kind of giant mecha creature. Like in Black and White, they literally made a Mecha Godzilla ttar in Pokestar Studios. I'd want something unique, but in terms of ttar, bro, this has to be one of their candidates. But yeah, this is what I mean about future forms being kind of hard. Here's Neo Sunflora, and again, they made an electric type, but it works this time. You know, sunflowers face the direction of the sun. This time it's a solar panel. It makes sense. But because past forms are so much more vast than what you can do with future forms, if Game Freak does take this direction, I just hope that they have a strong idea of how to deal with future forms. Alright, I'm gonna call it quits here, guys. Go on to shank that like button. Let me know your ideas for past forms and future forms. How do you want them to do it? See you on the next video. Take care.
Bitch, I'm the man. Give me my spot on that throne. They didn't want me to grow. They didn't know I would make all of them grow. I did it all on my own. Man, what was you? When I was trapped in my zone, never had nothing to own. Now it's all good. All of that frontin' is gone. I'm out here stunning for show. Bitch, I'm a pro.